To close out the first half of the 2022 One-Up Nitro National Series season, we head to upstate New York and Oswego Speedway for 90 laps around this tight 5/8 of a mile oval for Nitro National Series Under the Lights here in New York. Alongside me in the booth for this race is Duke Anzac as per usual. This is going to be a very interesting race. We got a tight short track with a lot of good drivers on it. Not much room for passing, but you're going to see a lot of it. You're going to see the bumper being put on a few people. That's just what you come to love. It's quintessential short track racing in itself.
Yeah, I mean, this track absolutely is just a stellar place to be, and these drivers are going to get around here. It is going to be an awesome race. This track is so unique. It has such wide corners through, even though it is a short track, but it's got really wide sweeping corners and shorter straightaways. So there really isn't a lot of time for you to be kind of breathing and to take that breath that drivers normally take on the straightaway. There's not a lot of time because you're getting into the next corner as soon as you get out of the last one, and that just presents an interesting challenge for these guys today. And a legendary track in upstate New York. I mean, this is going to be an awesome race today, and I can't wait to see who can move to the front in this one.
Looking now at the starting field of 42 strong for today's 90-lap main event here at Oswego. It's an All Kings Motorsports front row with Keon Daly taking pole position, Nicky Martinez lining up alongside. Autumn Koger, the Martinsville winner, lines up third with Alexa Luschan lining up fourth. Ricky Freeman Jr. has come so close so many times in his career, runs at the top five. We got both the Motor Dash Racing veterans in the top 10. Logan Williams 6th, Chris Lattimore 7th, and a lot of big names starting up front. So this is anybody's guess who's going to win this one, but I have a feeling those Toyotas are going to be pretty strong tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Just based on qualifying, that's not a bad bet today. But I don't know if there are a lot of bad bets in this field today. If you're starting on the bottom lane for the beginning of this thing, you're gonna have a big advantage going through the first couple of corners, and that's just how it is. You do not want to get stuck on the outside here. And if there's a yellow that brings out the caution, you want to be the first one down to the bottom. And we'll see. There's going to be a lot of lap traffic that could cause a lot of chaos, not only for the leaders under green flag action, but possibly for the leaders on a restart. So this is going to be a great race tonight, and I'm ready to watch.
So with that being said, all the cars are lined up on the grid, and we're ready to bring you 90 laps of action from Oswego Speedway. This is the One-Up Nitro National Series, and while everybody else is out at Watkins Glen, we're here at Oswego ready to rumble and tumble on the short track. The green flag is next. Coming to the green flag, it's in the air, and we're underway of racing in Oswego, and Keon Daly gets a good jump on the field. He jumps up ahead of Nicky Martinez, but they're going to be side by side for about 20 rows deep going into turn 3.
Yeah, and this is like you see, they kind of drive in on the bottom of the track and then slide all the way up out. It's such a wide surface here at Oswego for a short track, but you can see that this 52 car is starting to drive away now that people are they're fighting side by side. They've been fighting side by side since the beginning of this thing for second place, and that's only slowing them down, letting Keon Daly get out ahead.
So Keon Daly has led the first 2 laps already. Autumn Koger starting to creep ahead of Nicky Martinez for second, and Ricky Freeman Jr., Koger's teammate, starting to follow her along. Freeman looking for his first career win in one-up competition. He's currently running in third. And remember what I said about the Toyotas being the favorites? Well, we've got 2 powerful Finish Line Motorsports Fords running second and third. Could they play spoiler if they work together well enough?
Yeah, absolutely they could. I mean, it's one thing to have fast cars in qualifying, and it's another thing to have a fast car in the race, especially after you lose that clean air. As you can see, that we got some Toyotas a little bit farther back in there. They're not in clean air anymore, like Keon Daly, so they're struggling a little bit right now at the beginning of this run. However, later in this race, we'll see who has saved their tires better towards the end of it. We'll see a little bit of comer and goer in this race, I think, just because of the nature of the beast here.
And look at Chris Lattimore running in the 4th position for the Motor Dash Racing team. It is a very great sight to see Motor Dash Racing back at the front. It's been a bit of a struggle this season for this newly minted 4-car team. They were only 2 cars last year. They've grown a lot, but they're back running up front with Lattimore in 4th, Logan Williams in 9th. Great to see that. But back up front, Autumn Koger is starting to reel in Keon Daly for the race lead. I fully expect this 19 to be a big challenger. Remember, she did win at Martinsville.
You're right, and this 19 car is looking really good early in this race. I know Keon Daly has led every lap here, but ever since that opening push where he kind of drove away a little bit while they were side by side, this 19 has caught him and not let him get any farther away. So this is an excellent battle we've got right now, and the 19 just sizing him up right now, kind of waiting to see where it's going to be good to make a move, what part of the track it's going to work, where is this 19 car faster than the 52? You know, that's the advantage that's trying to happen right now. And of course, we're only 10 laps into this thing. Got a lot of racing left today, and it's not too late to make the move, already, obviously. So this is good battle.
And you notice the start-finish line's a bit closer to the first turn than the 4th turn. It's not dead in the middle, so you're gonna have a longer sprint to the line than, say, at a short track like Bristol. But still, it's a very tight track with a lot of close quarters action, and look no further than right here to see why. It's Keon Daly ahead of Autumn Koger and Ricky Freeman Jr. The top 3 separated by about 4 car lengths.
Yeah, so that, to your point with the start-finish line being farther down the straightaway, it's almost in the entry to turn 1. And of course, they're not really getting hard on the brakes before the start-finish line. There it is. You can see it, that white line on the track right there they just went over. But, these guys, it opens up the opportunity for maybe a last straightaway pass here. You know, like you see in a bit, like at a big track like Indianapolis, you'll get a big draft down the straightaway, and you can make that move, and there's enough time for you to get past the car ahead before the finish line. But here, it's not really the draft, but if you go high into that final set of corners, turns 3 and 4, and then cut way low, you could get a straight exit off of that corner and get a huge run down the straightaway, and you don't have to worry about that ruining your next corner entry, because the race will have been over by that point. So that just opens up an interesting possibility for these drivers as we take a look farther back in the field here at Alex Frigette-Baru.
He's gotten around Zachary DeLello for the 10th position, actually 11th now, because Patrick Smith got past DeLello for 10th. And DeLello, he made some charges through the field. He was up in the top 10, but now he's starting to fade a little. Smith got past him, Alex got past him, now A.J. Jones is having a crack at it. So maybe the setup on this 03 is not quite what he wants, or maybe he's just stuck up top, and that's not really where you want to be. But he's hanging in there. He's going to fall maybe back to 14th, but that's fine. He can just there's a gap behind A.J. Jones he can slot into, if he can get down there, of course, and unless Terzic in the 00 finds a way to get around under him as well. But no, DeLello's going to get in line right here. So DeLello's just having a strong day. He's 6th in the points, if you can believe it, is Zachary DeLello. So a strong season for him, looking for his first career win still. But as you can see, the lap traffic is getting closer already, if you can believe it. It's a very short track, this one, and it won't be long before the front half of the field catches the back half.
Yeah, and you're right. This is going to be a very fascinating race, especially if we go green for much longer here, because that lap traffic is going to absolutely cause a hindrance. Keon Daly does not have much of a lead to play with. In fact, it's about a third of a second ahead of that 19 car, and it is not changing at all so far in this thing. So as soon as that 52 catches the traffic, the 19 will be there to capitalize. And as the leader, something you want in this race is to get that gap so that you can spend a little bit of time on each of those cars and pass them good, pass them clean, and just pick them off one by one and kind of move your way to the front through all those cars and kind of leave them in between you and the people behind. Keon Daly won't have that opportunity at this rate. As soon as they catch those lappers, the 19 will be there. So that's going to cause quite the battle for the lead, and it's going to bring everybody else in the field up there with them. So this is going to, I am excited to see these guys catch the lappers. That is going to be a fun part of this race.
But right now it is Keon Daly still in clean air. He's led all 21 laps so far, coming up to lead lap 22. And this is the most laps. Well, no, Keon Daly led a bunch at Phoenix when he won. I was going to say this is going to be the most laps he's led in a race this season, but he led a lot at Phoenix where he won. A track very similar to this. It's a little longer, but it's fairly flat. You got a lot of room to work with, so could that same advantage be playing in here at Oswego as well?
Oh, for sure. You know, and I wouldn't even be surprised if we went down there, asked, and they said that this is the same car they brought to Phoenix. I mean, it is a significantly shorter track here, but both of these corners is a lot like turns 3 and 4, I guess 1 and 2 now with the front straightaway change. Turns 1 and 2 at Phoenix are just like this here, and you know, just a big sweeping corner, a little bit on the flat side, which is why you see these drivers running pretty close to the bottom. I mean, any closer to the bottom and you'd be losing speed down there, but you enter real low, slide up high a little bit in the middle of the corner, chop it on the exit, and then get back after it on the straightaway. It's just like turns 3 and 4 at Phoenix. So this is it's quite the track we got here, because it really is a bit of a one-lane track in the corners, but it's so wide. There's so much room to work with. Especially, I mean, on the corner exit, there's just a ton of room. They could be going 5 wide if it was possible. I'm sure that they would be. So, you know, it's an interesting track. And Keon Daly, I'm a little bit surprised by this performance right now after what we saw out of the 19. I don't know if the 19 is just holding back, but his 52 has done a good job of staying in the lead for the beginning part of this race.
Absolutely, Keon Daly's led all 27 laps so far in this race, coming up to lead lap 28 now. This is a great run for Keon Daly. Can he maintain it for the remaining 70 laps of this race is the question, or 60 laps of this race. It's going to be a big question mark until lap 90 ends, but Autumn Koger is keeping him honest. She's got him within 0.4 of a second pretty much this entire run, so, well, just over 0.4 now. But Keon Daly is not pulling away by any means, and that could be worrying, especially when you have 2 teammates back there. I know they're dropping Ricky Freeman Jr. a little bit. He's pretty much on his own in 3rd. But if Freeman can catch back up, maybe because of lap traffic, that could be something worth keeping an eye on as the race winds down.
Yeah, as soon as they catch lap traffic, I mean, they're going to start squabbling a little bit. The 91, the 87, the 18, the 50, they're all going to be there right up behind these guys for the lead as soon as they catch that lap traffic. It's just there's not more than a 1.5 car width groove here through the corners, so it is tough to pass as wide as it seems like the track is. You know, it's not like Auto Club where the track is really wide and you can pretty much pass anybody anywhere, up by the wall, up on the down on the apron, you know, like in the middle. You can't do that here. It's just not like that. So these guys are going to have trouble passing those lappers unless they're significantly faster, which you know, they aren't. None of these cars are damaged or anything. We're watching right here. They're running a solid pace up there, not as fast as the leaders, obviously. So it's going to be fascinating to see how they navigate, and we'll see very quickly which of these front runners is the best at going through lappers.
So we're navigating lap 34 now. Keon Daly's lead remains at about 0.4 of a second. You can see the lap cars off in the distance. Got like David Byers, Rasha Mahendra in 41st and 42nd. This is going to be very interesting to see, once Keon Daly catches, how fast he'll be able to get around them, if he can get around them. It's very difficult to pass here, so not the easiest thing in the world, but it can be done. We saw it early in the race. So we look back now at the battle for 4th, this 4-car train of Chris Lattimore, Joshua Michaels, Alexa Lucian, Ryan Caggiano, and now back here, another 4-car battle with a few more maybe. Martinez, Williams, Patrick Smith, Alex Vergette-Berube, and a few others. But Logan Williams is an interesting story. He signed with Motor Dash Racing, a very good team, but through the first 11 races, he has not found the top 10 yet this season. He's down in 21st in points, not having the season he wants. Could this be today as luck finally turns around and he can snag him a much-earned top 10 finish?
That's a shocking statistic. I mean, this car, it always looks so good out there, and you'd think that he'd be out there running way up front and having great days. But yeah, just luck not on this side this season at all. So as we move back to this battle for the lead, the 19 still keeping that gap extremely close. The 91 back there is also starting to close in a little bit. And of course, we now see in the leader's camera shot the very end of the field, just ahead of them on the same straightaway. So it won't be long until they catch these guys. However, so think about this. We are 40 laps into this race. They'll catch them at about lap 42, let's say. So that's 42 laps it takes to catch the lappers after the double foul restart. A single file restart, it'll probably be a little bit quicker, but they'll be more spread out. So just keep that in mind in case we have a yellow in this thing, how long it takes the leaders to catch up to the lappers. Just something to keep in the back of your mind for this race, just in case we're coming to the end after a restart and these guys are they're just barely catching up to the lappers.
So Keon Daly can see David Byers in his sights. 27 is the first car that will likely go a lap down here for BTB Motorsports, but Keon Daly's having a pretty strong race, and it's not a surprise after what he did at Phoenix. But a lot of talk's been made about his future. We know that Joshua Michaels will be coming back next year. We know Ryan Caggiano is retiring at the end of this year. Keon Daly's in an interesting position. We think he's going to be back next year for Kings Motorsports, but the way silly season shakes itself out, you just never know these days. But a performance like this will definitely help his cause.
Oh yeah, his stock value is going way up. By every lap he leads, absolutely. That the value of that driver is increasing. So here we've got Ricky Freeman Jr. and the 91 running in third place, just lurking, waiting for those leaders to catch up to the lap cars. And I mean, solid so far in this race, sitting in third. Has only fallen a little bit farther behind the leaders, not even more than a second behind them right now, and has just been keeping up. That's all you have to do is keep up with these guys, put yourself in it for the end of this thing, and you'll have a chance.
Joshua Michaels, meanwhile, holds the fastest lap of the race at an 18:29. So we'll see if that holds for the rest of the night. Tire wear isn't that big of a factor here, so we could see a late lunge at the fastest lap. But probably won't come from the leaders at this point because they have caught the lap traffic. David Byers is directly ahead of Keon Daly. We'll see how aggressive the 52 is navigating around the 27 here, because Daly runs really high through the set of corners. That could be trouble for him, but he keeps it ahead of Autumn Koger, but the gap has been cut down significantly by half almost.
Oh, there he goes.
Yep, he put
to the bottom here.
He put the bumper to the back of that 27. He's in a hurry after that mistake he made. He needs to get around as Koger makes a move to the outside for the lead.
Wow, that's surprising that Koger has gotten there side by side with Keon Daly, because I didn't think that the outside is going to be very good, but neither of them can get past this 27 car right now, and they remain side by side all the way around this track.
Keon Daly now gets underneath Byers, not for position, but to lap him. So Koger is being held up behind the 27. Keon Daly perhaps using Byers as a pick to try and get around the 19. And yes. Ricky Freeman Jr. has now caught up to the top two. So if the Finish Line Motorsports pair get held up behind Byers for a while, that could allow Keon Daly to get a much bigger lead, as we're well past halfway now.
Yeah, that was a huge moment for Keon Daly right there. I mean, that shows that is the car that is running in last place in this race. So, you know, if you're looking at it from the simplistic point of view that first place is the fastest, the last place is the slowest, it took them that long to get by that race car on this track. And that it was a significant amount of time, multiple laps it took them, and still Autumn Koger cannot get by that 27 car. So that was a big moment for Keon Daly, who's able to now go and try to pass that 6 car ahead, and maybe put more cars between himself and second place. And we'll see. It looks like maybe Autumn Koger's going to the bottom here. It looks like she's good on the bottom. She's maybe going to get a run into the corner. Looks like she will, and puts it. So now put the 27 behind Autumn Koger as well. And that just brings this lead battle back, nose to tail at this point on the track. No cars between them.
We're closing in on 35 laps to go from Oswego, and Keon Daly has led all of them so far. He will lead the most laps in this race, of course, because of that. And if he wins this race, that'll be 52 points going his way, same as his car number. Maybe that's a lucky sign. But it's still too early to say for sure, because Autumn Koger is reeling him in at a pretty quick rate.
Yeah, Autumn Koger is on the way, and of course this 52 cannot get by the 6. As attempted multiple ways on the outside and the inside, off of the corner, into the corner. So far, not so good for Keon Daly trying to pass Mahendra in the 6, and we'll see if he can get off the corner well here. It looks like they're slowing. No, I think it was just that 57 was on the outside. Everybody checked up a little bit for him, but I don't know, man. Autumn Koger still lurking back there, and of course Ricky Freeman Jr. has yet to pass the 27, who is sitting in last place, 1 lap down right now.
So Koger is closing. The gap now gone from 4/10 to 3/10 on that lap. So it's going to be very close between these two for the rest of the night. The problem is Ricky Freeman Jr., he can't get past David Byers still. So it's going to be very close for him. If he's going to have any hope of winning this race, he needs to get a run past that 27, and he needs to do it very quickly. Otherwise, he might as well kiss his hopes goodbye. But right now, Autumn Koger,
off the track.
52 washes up high. That allows Koger to his inside. This could be the move for the lead we've been waiting to see all night long.
Yeah, and we have not seen any movement between these two cars for position so far. And now Autumn Koger on the bottom in the preferred lane and goes all the way deep into the corner. Can she clear the 52 out of the corner? Let's see it on the straightaway. It will be. That's a move for the lead. And was it the move for the win? We don't know yet. 2/3 of the way through this race, Autumn Koger has taken the lead.
First lead change of the night, and it goes to Autumn Koger in the 19, trying to replicate what she did at Martinsville. And now Koger solidly out in the lead. Well, I wouldn't say solidly, because Keon Daly is fighting back on the outside, doing whatever he can to try and get the lead back. But Koger is definitely going to clear him going down the back straightaway and into 3 right here.
Well, the 6 car right now is being the cork in the bottle a little bit. No, neither of them can get by. Let's see, entering this corner, can Autumn Koger do anything about it? No, not yet. And Keon Daly still has a chance to strike yet again, but sitting in 2nd place, and they're single file. So that is a big moment for the leaders in this race, and we're looking at the 87 right here, who is running in 4th, now directly behind that 91 car, who's sitting in 3rd, still has not been able to pass the 27.
Absolutely. Now Joshua Michaels makes a move to the inside on Chris Lattimore for 4th. This is a great move for the 18 group, trying to take the points lead back after a little bit of a mini slump here. But Michaels now clears Lattimore for 4th. Let's see what Michaels can do with Ricky Freeman Jr. now. And we'll see if Ryan Caggiano can get up there and join his teammate in the mix. In his last season, of course, Ryan Caggiano would love to get a win before it's all said and done. As Freeman goes a little wide in that corner, that could allow Michaels, Lattimore, and everybody else to get a little bit closer to the 91.
Yeah, not quite enough for the 91 to get by the 27 car. It's incredible how difficult it has been to pass these lappers. I mean, I thought that they would be well in to the top 30, top 25 at this point in the race, passing the lappers, and they passed 1, the leaders did, and that is it. They cannot get by that 6 car. Passing incredibly difficult at this circuit. And Autumn Koger making that move for the lead, using that 6 car a little bit as the cork in the bottle, has been the biggest move of this race so far. It could have been for the win at this rate. We'll see. I know that Keon Daly has not finished talking about this matter on the track, but yeah, it's incredible. And we've got the 18 going for 3rd place right now on the bottom. And the 50 is following, going for 5th, whatever it is. I can't even think about it.
So Michaels gets around Freeman for 3rd, and he's going to try and get around David Byers as well in quick succession. So, with Michaels now up to 3rd, Lucian now up to 5th, and Ryan Caggiano trying to get around. So, with Lattimore starting to fall back a little bit, he'll probably drop back to about 7th right now. But Joshua Michaels is now clear of the cork in the bottle, David Byers, and now he's going to go chase after Autumn Coker and Keon Daly, who are still in a tight battle for the lead with 20 to go.
This is incredible right now, and I feel so bad for Ricky Freeman Jr., who had the opportunity right after he got past to get by David Byers, but was in the middle of 3 wide and wasn't able to get it done because he couldn't get very low on the track at the corner, still sitting behind David Byers right now, and now has been passed again, this time by Ryan Caggiano, who's losing so many positions because that 27 car is ahead of him. Meanwhile, for the lead, we've got Autumn Coger remaining up front and has gone wide into the turn, and Keon Daly's on the bottom.
Getting ready to strike once again. Could this be a Kings Motorsports renaissance here? As now Kings Motorsports runs 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Daly, Michaels, and Caggiano. Could they gang up on Autumn Coker here in the closing stages of this race? We've only got about 18 laps to go, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this race closes out. But Daly now takes the lead back from Coger at the stripe by a very slim margin. Keon Daly back to the lead here at Oswego.
And Autumn Coger now is going to have to settle in single file. I would not run the outside here. She did anyway. Looks like she's going to be safe, and in fact going to challenge on the outside for the lead again. Yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, they're just going to have to play the lap cars. Whoever plays the lap cars just perfectly, even if they're not passing them, it's just going to be when they get held up by them. I mean, both these leaders have made mistakes today. Keon Daly and Autumn Coger have slid into that corner. It's easy to miss. You're going into these similar corners a ton of times today, so it's the number is monumental. The amount of times you're entering a corner throughout the race today, and you're bound to mess one of them up. And of course, these two have done it, and both times the other one was right there, ready to take advantage of it.
So we've got less than 15 laps to go now, and the top 5 are all single file nose to tail. From Keon Daly in the lead all the way back to Ricky Freeman Jr. in 5th. This is very close, and you can see all the lap cars directly ahead, including Aaron Hall, who's having a very miserable race at the tail end of the field. Hall could be in danger of losing a playoff spot. But this is Keon Daly's race right now. He's got the lead. But he might not for very long, because here comes his teammate, Joshua Michaels, moving on Autumn Coger for 2nd.
Yeah, and that's interesting. At the same moment that now there's a pass for position ahead of them on the track. Of course, that is for there's 41, 42 in this race, so that's for 41st in the race right there. A move was just made, but that could change the dynamic. In fact, Mahendra is absolutely on a tear right now. Has passed 2 guys in the course of 2 laps at the very end of the field. And now the 18 goes to the bottom in a similar fashion and is going for the lead from 3rd place.
2 cars in 1 turn. Joshua Michaels to the lead at Oswego. How about that? Michaels looking to become the first guy to get to 3 wins this season. We've got 10 laps to go. Does Keon Daly have enough to get Michaels back? Or is this going to... Oh, that was a very deep dive for Keon Daly, but it just wasn't enough. Michaels takes the lead. Will it be the end? Is that the end for Keon Daly? Or will we see another lead change in the final 9 laps?
Boy, well, it might have been the end of Autumn Coger, who's now down to 4th place, and they're still 2 wide ahead of these leaders. And Ryan Caggiano is working on Keon Daly now for 2nd place. I don't know if maybe these guys just saved their tires a little bit and they're coming in right now, or if the 52 has used them up. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but you're right. This 18 car is looking really good out front, and Ryan Caggiano is in 3rd place, making a move. And these 3 Toyotas, like we were talking about in the beginning, the Toyotas are looking strong. We thought the Mustangs were going to maybe get up there and mix it up, and they did today. And the 52 made contact with the leader, and this race is starting to go crazy.
7 laps to go, and Keon Daly going back for the lead on Joshua Michaels. No team orders here. These 3 are getting ready to race for the win at Oswego. Keon Daly on the inside, Joshua Michaels on the outside. Ryan Caggiano waiting in the wings, see if these 2 make a mistake. but no one's made a mistake so far as Keon Daly retakes the lead, coming to 5 laps to go.
Wow, so Keon Daly has lost the lead to 2 different drivers today and took it back each time. This is an incredible drive from the 52. I was saying earlier that I didn't think he was the fastest, but he absolutely is. Today, this car right now is the best on this racetrack, and they still, through all of this, have only lapped 1 car. They've been sitting behind these guys for so long. 3 different drivers have been in that position ahead of them, and they have not been able to lap any of them. And that has created this amazing situation with all these drivers racing for the win. And Keon Daly somehow has maintained the lead going on to lap 88.
3 laps to go from Oswego. Keon Daly leads a Kings Motorsports trio at the front. Ricky Freeman Jr. has also gotten past Autumn Koger for the 4th spot. Koger falls all the way back to 5th now. As we come to 2 laps to go in this race, Daly continues to lead the way. Could this be the 2nd win of the season for Keon Daly, the 3rd of his career? We're going to find out in about a mile's time, because we're coming to the white flag. Oh, Michaels makes a send into the corner. He's going to have 1 more lap to do it. White flag in the air. We got 1 more lap to go from Oswego, and Keon Daly doing everything he can to hold off his teammates. He's going to have 1 more shot. Is Michaels going in the 3s? He's going to have to send it in deep. He's not going to do it. He's going to play the team game. Lead home a Kings Motorsports. 1, 2, 3 at the line. It is Keon Daly winning at Oswego Speedway for this 3rd career win. Joshua Michaels 2nd on the road, 2nd in the race. Ryan Caggiano comes home 3rd. A very strong run from the Kings Motorsports group. Ricky Freeman Jr. 4th. Autumn Koger falls back to 5th at the end of this race. Alexa Lushon 6th. Chris Lattimore 7th. A well-needed top 10 for him. Patrick Smith comes home 8th. Ahead of Nicky Martinez, another Kings Motorsports car. They put all 4 in the top 10 today. And Logan Williams finally gets that first top 10 of the season for Motor Dash Racing. He brings it home in 10th. But really, what a final few laps that was. We had slicing and dicing for the lead. And boy, was that an interesting battle to keep our eye on. Because now, we're going ahead to, Chicagoland next week. And we still don't know who the championship favorite is, honestly.
No, you're absolutely right. This series has just been stellar this year, and every single week it is a battle on the edge of your seat watching this thing. I mean, what a great race we had today. What a great season we've had so far. And it is not over yet. We have like you said, no favorite going into it right now. The field is so equal. There's a lot of parity right now, and it's great for racing. So Keon Daly absolutely earned it today, and Joshua Michaels sitting there in 2nd place. Got to be a little disappointing to not finish off that win after leading a little bit of this race, but hey, man, what a fantastic race it was, and I am excited to see what they do at Chicagoland.
So from Duke Ansack and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Oswego. We'll see you again next week at Chicagoland for race number 13 of the season. We hit the halfway point. I can't wait to see what the next half is going to bring. But congratulations to Keon Daly. He gets his 3rd career win, his 2nd of the season. He does it in a very commanding fashion, leading 79 laps of this race. He does it here at Oswego Speedway.